sometimes when you're working in open source, we need to give a little nudge to the people who are helping out and contributing to your open source repository. And where I often find this happens is sometimes an issue will have been assigned to somebody and there'll have been no work on it for a certain amount of time. And maybe you just want to send a little nudge that says, hey, is there an update on that issue? Or perhaps somebody has been asked to review a pull request and that pull request is just starting to languish. It's been sitting there for a couple of weeks, and if we can get the reviewer to review it, we can give them a little nudge saying, hey, can you review this? And then maybe they'll actually go in and review the issue. Now, with smaller repos and smaller teams, this can be done just by hitting people up. Hey, I see that pull request number 37 is open for a while. Can you go take a look at it? But that's still a manual thing. And here at unSkript, one of our big goals is to try to remove some of that manual toil. That we've got all these issues. Now I've just got to go ping person A and person B and person C to get them to review it. So what I did is I built a run book that can run every single Wednesday and just ping everybody internally. Now, clearly, if you've got volunteers, you might want to be a little bit more nuanced in how you interact with the volunteers who have issues assigned to them or are reviewing pull requests. But these are, for the people who are internal to unSkript, I can be a little bit more punchy and a little bit more brute force. So what I've done is I've created a run book called the Github Nudge. And there's a couple things that happen here. First, I've got this action here that is now live. You can search for GitHub list stale issues. List stale issues. And you can drag and drop this in. And so what this does is it takes your GitHub credential. It takes the owner, the repo, and the threshold. And in this runbook, I'm using unSkript, the awesome CloudOps automation, which is our open source repository. And I'm saying if it's over 14 days, let's get a list. And you can see we've got a list of issues that are over 14 days old. And we know who they're assigned to. And so now that I have that list, I can format the output. And there's a couple things that I do here. And in this section right here, I'm converting the GitHub name to the member ID inside of our Slack community. And basically creating a string that says, hey, person, these are the stale GitHub issues assigned to you. Boom. These are the issues assigned to you. And what we can do then is we can send a message off into Slack, say, that alerts. And what you do is if you get the member ID in Slack, and the member ID you can get, if you come over here, like this is me in our Slack, if you copy the member ID, that's this number over here. And then when you send the Slack message, what the Slack message sends is it says, hi, @Doug, these are the stale GitHub issues assigned to you, boom, boom, boom. And if you send a message saying, hey, could you review these? Now people are getting an alert. Oh, I've got these stale issues. Maybe I should go look at them. The other thing that I do, so that's going to send a Slack message. And then we continue through the runbook. The second action I have here is to list the stale PRs, right? So we have a bunch of PRs. And again, it's the same configuration. This is available in our unSkript repository. So you can just drag and drop it in. And again, unSkript, awesome CloudOps automation, and if it's over 14 days. And so these PRs have been open for 14 days, and it's just probably worthwhile to have people look at it. So what we do is we found all of the stale pull requests, and so I've formatted that just to create a list with the pull request numbers. Now the second thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to get the reviewers for those pull requests. And so this is, again, an action that's available. If you list pull request reviewers, we can get the reviewers. And so if we look at the configuration here, I'm getting the owner in the repo, and then I'm iterating over this list of PRs. And so it's going to get all of those PRs and get the name of the reviewers who have outstanding reviews. Do a little formatting here, and then I can send a Slack message saying, hi, user, please review these pull requests. They're a little old, and they're assigned to you. So if you do those reviews, we can clean out those old pull requests, update the repo, and everything will be cool. And so, again, this is saved in my unSkript, and I have it scheduled to run every Wednesday morning. So every Wednesday morning, the team will come in and get a notification saying that, hey, there's some PRs that you should look at. And these are the ones that are over 14 days old. And so then hopefully they can go in and review those PRs. So we get more reviews in, we get more issues resolved, and we can push the repository ahead and the code ahead and the user experience ahead, because we're killing the issues, we're squashing the bugs, and we're pushing them into the repo. Thanks for watching this video. Create your own GitHub Nudge runbook using unSkript. Either use our open source Docker install that you can run locally on your machine, or use our free trial, which you can see at us.app.unscript.io, or you can go to unscript.com and sign up there. And then you can just use, I'm just using the post Slack message to send message to the team. And I am using, list the pull request reviewers, list the stale pull requests, and list the stale GitHub issues. And then I'm doing some formatting, and that's up to you to do that on your own. It's a little bit of Python. Clearly the usernames will all be different in yours. If you had a larger team, maybe you would do like a Google Sheet or something to automate this rather than just a bunch of if-else statements. But again, you can automate some of these processes to try to push your code ahead.